If you've watched any of my recent videos, you might have noticed that my beard is getting longer and longer, and at times a bit unruly, and that's because it is. Well, there's a new trimmer on the market that I really wanted to test out, so I was growing my beard. Today we're going to be looking at Microtouch Titanium Trim. It's marketed as a hair cutting system at home and also a body groomer. Now, I did try the original Microtouch. Actually, I think it was the second version where you're supposed to be able to shave your beard with it, and I didn't care for it much, so I'm a bit skeptical going into this. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. My channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items. I look at some consumer gadgets, other household items. Once in a while, I do a little bit of a DIY just because I like to. If that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell below. That way you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. And one more thing, don't forget to check down the description for my social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I would love it if you would follow me there too. Now, let's unbox and set up the Microtouch Titanium Trim that I purchased from my local as seen on TV retailer for about 40 bucks. I'm really hopeful, but a bit skeptical. Here's our Microtouch Titanium Trim. It's an at-home haircut and body groomer. I'm excited to try this out. We gotta cut down our little sticker tabs there. I think that was it. All right. And finally slide it out. Nothing else in that box. This is in a nice plastic container. We got more tabs. They really wanted to keep this secure. All right, there we go. So we have, of course, our razor, which is awesome. I've got some directions, which I will definitely look at. It's interesting that this runs on AA batteries, which they do include. Plus, there are different level guards, and I really like that because I'm going to use this to trim my beard, and I'm going to try to trim some of my hair, but we'll see how that goes. But this is it first. Let me look through the directions and see what we do. All right, so we're going to install our batteries, but first I wanted you to see what this thing looked like. Up here on this part, this definitely feels like it's rubber, right? Or it's really has a lot of grip, and I like that for holding on to when you're actually shaving or trimming hair. Here's your on-off button, and here is a light that will turn on. This part right here, of course, is the razor, and we're going to get into all that. But first, we want to install the batteries. And the batteries actually go inside here, so I have to hold tight. I'm just going to grip the top, slide out. See how that slid? And then it revealed a button, so I'm going to push this button right here, and then pull some more. Therefore, I take out the case part, and I have just this in my hand. If you look right here, you see how that says open by twisting to the left. So we are going to do that. Twist to the left and open. The battery, it does have a diagram how you are supposed to install them. So make sure you follow that diagram. That's an easy thing to get wrong. So let's slide that in. We're going to put our cap back on. Oh, I missed. I shouldn't be looking at the camera. I should be looking at the actual unit. There we go. So it's in now. All right. So if I turn this on, most likely this razor will start. Let's hit it. Ooh, there you go. There's a little light on there. Pretty cool. All right. So let's put this thing back together just by sliding it in. And we are ready to go shave or trim our hair. I wanted to show the accessories that it came with. But real first, the directions do tell us we can cut just with this part without any of the guards on. But if you are cutting this and you're cutting any sensitive skin or sensitive near sensitive areas, you want to make sure you use the guard labeled G. You see how that says G? All right, so let's go down the line, and I'm going to walk you through what each of these remaining four are. All right, this first one right here is often known as the number 2 guard. If you have a regular hair cutting kit, it does the 1/4-inch trim. The next one here is a 1/2-inch trim, which is the number 4 guard or 13 millimeters. Then I have the number 6 guard, which is a 3/4-inch trim, which is 19 millimeters. And then the last one I have here is the number 8 guard, which is the 1-inch trim or the 25 millimeters. For me, I'm going to try first on my beard, so I'm going to use the number 2, and so it just clips on just like that, so it gives you that bit of space. So let's go do that right now. Are you excited to test out the Microtouch Titanium Trim with me? I know I am. I'm a little nervous. All right, so you may notice that my hair has no product in it and it's not combed. And that's because if this works out on my beard, I am going to try it out on my hair right here at home by myself. All right, so I have the number 2 guard on, right? So that's a 1/4 inch guard. And so what it tells you to do when you're shaving your beard is to start here down below your chin and move up towards your ear. So I'm a little nervous, but let's do this. Ready? Took off some, and you know what? It didn't rip it out of my face. All right, so I'll be honest, I was skeptical, but it did a good job. I'm actually really impressed with how even the cut was. Plus, there's a lot of hair that just came off and it did not rip it off my face. Pretty sweet. Okay, so I just finished trimming my entire beard with the Microtouch Titanium Trim. And I'll be honest with you, it was a whole lot easier than my typical method. Normally what I do is I have a hair cutting trimmer that I put a number 2 guard on and I trim the whole thing up, and it just takes a long time. And then the cleanup is annoying too. But to be honest with you, the cleanup was a little bit similar because there's just hair everywhere. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take off the guard and I'm gonna try the edging or this trimming part right here down my hairline here to see if that trims up pretty nice. Let's do it. All right, so as you can tell, it trimmed up pretty nice, and I think it's pretty close. It's not as close as I would get from a razor blade, which is what I typically use to shave under here, but it did a pretty good job. And I think if I took my time, I can get a straight line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish up this line off camera, and then I'm gonna try to trim up some of my hair because it's been going pretty well. I also will note that this light for me down here is not really, it doesn't really do a whole lot because I can't see it. I mean, maybe it illuminates a little bit, but I think if someone else was cutting your hair with this, that would be really beneficial. After you finish testing out and using the razor, it does come with this very small, very silly brush to clean it off. And you're just supposed to like brush it off if that's something you want to do. I think this is a silly addition. This is something I'm probably going to lose. That being said, it does sweep off, and it's important to keep your razor clean. All right, so now that the actual shaving of my beard is done and trimming it up is done, I want to move on to my hair. I do want to point out though, using without the guard on, it does leave like a stubble here that you will have to go back and shave with a razor. What I've done here is I've picked the largest guard that this came with, which is the 1-inch guard, and I'm just going to go up and around my ears. I will say that I'm right-handed, so I find in my right hand going to the left side of my head and my face, it's pretty easy for me to trim, right? But when I have to switch to this hand, or maybe I do it upside down, it's definitely something that takes a little bit more getting used to. I just wanted you to know that. All right, so you ready for the moment of truth? Let's trim around my ears. All right, I should say that I have switched to the 3/4 inch guard, and this is the one that's labeled 19 millimeters, because this one, well, I tried it, and well, my hair wasn't long enough. So this is also a different shape. So you can see the shape. This has got like a teardrop look, and this is the flat one, which looks typical. So I'm not sure what that will do, but let's try it out. So I notice very little pieces of hair coming off, and just little. I mean, this just came out of the razor. So it's doing what I wanted to do, which is really just freshen up the hair. You can go shorter and do a full-on haircut. I'm not going to do that, but I do like that it will freshen up around my ears and such. That way, I go to get my hair cut less often. In this video, we are taking a close look at the Microtouch Titanium Trim. So what did I think about it? Well, it actually trimmed really well. I was impressed with how it cut my beard. I was even impressed how it cut around my hair. Now, I wasn't brave enough necessarily to comb through my whole hair because I've just never done that before, but I do have friends that cut their own hair, and I think this would be a great addition to their hair cutting system or hair cutting equipment. I will say, as I go along, I will continue using this, and I'll leave updates down in the description, and if I ever get brave enough to either cut my own hair or to have someone cut my hair, I'll make sure to film it just so you can see that. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I'm pretty disappointed that there's no carrying case, so I just have this giant Ziploc bag where all the attachments are. As a rule of thumb, I also do not leave batteries inside of an item that has, inside of an item that uses batteries, because you never know, especially with cheap batteries like these ones, they could easily leak and then damage your entire unit. So then I store everything inside of the Ziploc bag. I can put this underneath the sink in the bathroom, and when I need to use it, it's really quick and easy to assemble. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the Copperware mask. We didn't look at that today. Of course not. That was just a shameless plug. No, but I do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the Titanium Trim by Microtouch. You know, in this video, I actually referenced my very first review of their earlier product called the Microtouch Solo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link that video right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. But if you've already seen that video, I will post a link to my Copperware mask, the one I just showed you here. So go ahead, click one of those videos, and by the magic of the internet, when you click one, I'm going to join you at that review. So go ahead, click them. They're safe, I promise.